I think one of the greatest opportunities that the OB has is the fact that it is a new entity. One of the challenges that it has is that it is looking for all Bermudians to get involved. You know, we're at a situation whereby I don't think that there's anyone happy with what's going on in the country, content with where we are economically, content with where we are educationally. Certainly our crime is just completely disorienting. I mean, just today we hear about 2 people being shot in broad daylight. This is gut-wrenching, I think, for all of us. And what the OBA is looking for is, the OBA is looking for all Bermudians to get involved. This is a clean slate, folks. This is an opportunity for those who didn't find those opportunities to get involved, to be a part of creating new legislation, to be a part of creating what I would call new industries and putting new ideas to the table. You know, if we simply just, I had the opportunity to go to church this weekend at 2 different churches, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. I was invited. And the common theme was God was asking for less talk and more action. And I think that that's what the OBA is actually looking for. It is looking for less talk and more action. You know, our people are frustrated. They've had enough. And I'm not pointing that particularly at any party, but they've had enough of the environment that they are living in, and we've got to find solutions. They exist. They exist within Bermudians themselves, and what we now need to do is extract that from everyone, and the OBA is presenting that opportunity to do just that. And you know, I'm not sure if you would want to put it in any other way. But
one of the beautiful things about the OBA is that there is no guarantee that any sitting MP that has come from UBP or BDA is going to be sitting in those same seats or running at all. Anybody who becomes a member of the party has an opportunity to apply to be a candidate for the new party. They will sit before a candidate selection committee that will make decisions based on things like, are they from that constituency, what are they bringing to the table, what are their skill sets, and say, come on board. One of the things that drives me absolutely up the wall, frankly, is when people say, well, I'm going to sit back and wait and see how this is going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the opportunity for every single person that has any interest at all to get involved.
Absolutely.
And not sit in the sidelines and point fingers and say, well, I don't like you because you've come from this party. I don't like you because I've never heard of you, or whatever it is. Now's an opportunity to come by and say, I have an interest in how this island is and where it's going, and we think it's going down the wrong track and has been for some time. And to say, you know, I think I have a real concern about the economy. I have something to offer. I think I can do something about this. If you can do it, I can do it, we can all do it together. And that's what a real opportunity is here. I mean, you see someone like Craig, who's going to be appointed to the Senate, who has come forward and stepped up to the plate and said, now is my opportunity to help this community and help this country. He's got great ideas. The people around the table have some great ideas, but we want to hear from you and everybody else and say, how are we going to shape this country? It's gone far enough. Yeah,
yeah. One of the criticisms, very valid, is we're seeing the same faces. You know, you keep hearing that, you know, we're seeing the same faces. Well, we're seeing the same faces because there's a lot of talk going on and not enough action. And I'm calling all Bermudians to action. Let's do something about our situation. Let me put this in real terms here. It's not someone else's kids that are getting shot. It's our kids that are getting shot. And we're waiting for who? Someone else to fix the problem? We need to be engaged in what's going on in Bermuda. We need to be engaged in the political process here. And you know, all of the ghosts and the boogeymen, they've been out there for some time as far as the political process is concerned. You know, people are in it for ill, you know, gain and you know, filling their pockets and all those kinds of things. Well, you know what? Now is an opportunity for us, if you believe that that is actually going on, now is an opportunity to get that corrected, to get involved, and you know, quite frankly, there are many people who would like to move on. I believe that. You know, our leader, John, has very emphatically basically said, you know, if someone wants to come along and they would like to move into my seat, you know, hey, we're going to make these possibilities happen. You know, we educate our young people to go away. And when they come back, they're restricted in the possibilities and the options that are available to them. And they're coming back with all kinds of great ideas and thoughts because guess what? They've been educated in the world. Bermuda's market is not Bermuda against Bermuda, you know. We're operating on a world market, and we need to act like it. So, you know, everything that we do needs to be catered around what the world is looking for. Another example. Let me put some meat to this, putting Bermuda first. You know, if our international business is having challenges with the way that we're doing things, and they're softly leaving, they are. You know, redundancies are happening all the time from our international businesses. All you need to do is look at some of the buildings and they're empty. Some of their floors are empty. They're leaving Bermuda during a worldwide recession to go where? To go to somewhere else, who's also experiencing a worldwide recession. So they're leaving one recession country to go to another. And what it behooves us is, let's investigate, let's sit down with them and find out truly what their concerns are. I'm not saying that you got to give the whole kitchen away, but let's find out what is attracting them to other jurisdictions that we need to hone in on. Let's make these guys comfortable because the international money coming into this country is what is keeping us afloat. And the more that we see them disappearing, the more houses you see for rent, the more foreclosures, for rent, and they can't fill them. The more foreclosures you are now starting to see where we've never seen before on homes. People can't find jobs. The labor force can't find employment. Why? Because that international business is leaving the country at what I would consider to be an alarming rate. And that money is not trickling down for others to be able to get involved.
Well, it's a short-term and a long-term plan that needs to be put in place, and I don't think the current government has found either a short-term plan or a long-term plan. And you can tinker with things like work permits, and you can tinker with things like permanent residency certificates. You tinker with these things to keep people in the country. But how do you get Bermudians engaged in international business so that it's a long-term success? That starts at the education system.
Yes.
That's where we've got to put a lot of concentration on. And we say the main three things we've got to be looking at is, of course, how to fix the crime problem and the gang violence, how to fix the economy from its current free fall, and how to actually deal with the education system. Now, of course, all three of those, in my view, are actually linked purely with education.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you get it right in the first instance, you're going to find that there's less people involved in gang violence. If you're educated well enough, you can have a piece of that pie of international business. Now, that's not to leave out tourism and some of the other ways in which we can earn income here, but we have to accept that something like 65% of our income is from international business. So we cannot keep having an environment where they're made to feel unwelcome. And some people in Bermuda will say, well, where's my piece of the pie? Well, at the moment we've got to at least protect the pie that's here, and we're not doing that. So what does the OBA intend to do about that? Well, we have a number of things that we've talked about, including looking at this work permit situation to encourage people to stay here and invest, which creates jobs. But it also means getting the public out there involved in the process, not being told what to do, but to say, I have ideas that are relevant. And so we're not going to come here and say, we have all the ideas, we're going to fix everything. We're not going to do that. What we're going to say is we can put in place 3 or 4 things that will fix the country quickly in a very short term, but build some blocks for long-term success. That is the key. And that key is the involvement of people out there in the community.
Certainly.